O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Usually when we think about a weapon, we picture something physical, like a sword or, I don't know, a missile. Something that goes boom. But sometimes the most devastating weapon you could deploy against an enemy is, well, an inside joke.
Oh, absolutely. Especially a joke that is so layered and, so incredibly specific that it just completely dismantles the target's reputation using their own life's work.
Right, and that's exactly what we are getting into today. Welcome to today's deep dive, where our mission is to unpack how Aleister Crowley constructed this historically accurate, weaponized literary prank. He did this in his 1917 novel Moonchild.
Yeah, and to really understand the trap here, you have to look at the wonder-working serpent ritual, which is just, it's wild.
Oh, it is completely wild. Okay, let's unpack this because it requires buying an egg without haggling. Then you have to bury it in a cemetery at midnight and water it every single day with commercial brandy.
Right, like cheap store-bought brandy.
Yeah, and if you do this right, you supposedly hatch this rooster-headed snake named Ambrose Seal that guarantees success in seduction. Which, I mean, that sounds less like high magic and more like a drunken gardening project.
It really does sound completely unhinged. But what's fascinating here is that Crowley didn't actually invent this nonsense.
Wait, really? He got this from somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. He was an unparalleled scholar of historical grimoires, so he surgically stitched together instructions from real 18th century French folk texts, specifically the Grimorium Verum and the Grand Grimoire.
Okay, but why use cheap commercial brandy instead of something more traditional? If he's trying to be this premier occultist, doesn't that just make him look like a hack?
Well, that's the genius of it. In antiquity, ancient practitioners poured sacred libations of fresh blood to appease spirits. Crowley's deliberately highlighting the degradation of that tradition.
Oh, I see. By using the grimoire's instruction for cheap brandy instead of blood.
Exactly. He is showing the exact moment where high esoteric philosophy gets dragged down into the terrestrial dirt of folk sorcery.
Okay, so if he knows this is a degraded and absurd practice, who is he trying to bait with this?
He's targeting a character named Edwin Arthwaite. And Arthwaite is a venomous caricature of Crowley's real-life historical nemesis, Arthur Edward Waite.
Oh, wow. So Waite was a real guy who was essentially Crowley's rival.
Right. Waite was this pedantic, occult scholar who actually translated those exact same French grimoires in real life, and he had publicly condemned them as repulsive absurdities.
So Crowley writes a scenario where Waite's fictional counterpart earnestly performs the exact rituals the real Waite despised. That is just an inescapable, humiliating setup.
It really is. And the way Waite's character falls for it points to a deeper epistemological clash. Crowley makes this cutting remark in the text that reading these instructions literally indicates the class of person doing the magic.
Basically forcing you as the reader to choose a side, right? Like, are you going to read these ancient texts literally or look for the underlying mechanism?
Spot on. So a charlatan might read buy an egg without haggling as a literal instruction to just rip off gullible dupes, taking it completely at face value.
While missing the actual point entirely.
Right, because Crowley believed buying without haggling was actually a profound spiritual metaphor for surrendering the ego. It meant committing entirely to your path without hesitation.
And Wade's character misses the metaphor completely. I mean, he is treating a spiritual exercise in ego death like he's reading the back of a seed packet.
Yes, exactly. And this sheer literalism leads to an incredible punchline. So Arthwaite is in the graveyard, he finishes his brandy pouring, and a figure finally appears in the dark.
But it's not a terrifying underworld force, is it?
No, it is just the mundane cemetery night watchman.
I love this part. And when the watchman asks him what on earth he's doing, Arthwaite stubbornly repeats the required magical passcode from the grimoire.
Right, he just says, I am watering my plant.
Which, you really can't blame the cop for what happens next. He promptly arrests Arthwaite as a lunatic. Because, it's a grown man pouring liquor on a dirt mound at midnight, claiming it's a plant.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be caught holding the brandy bottle when the watchman comes by. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's actually a profound warning for you, the listener, against pedantic literalism.
Right. It really forces you to examine your own approach to learning.
Exactly. It
That-
makes you ask, are you just memorizing the bureaucratic mechanics of your own field? Like the exact wording and the rigid processes without ever grasping the underlying core principles.
Are you just watering a buried egg, basically?
Yes, perfectly said. Are you just watering a buried egg?
Well, think about this as we wrap up today's deep dive. If Crowley defined true magic merely as the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with one's will, wouldn't writing a best-selling satirical novel to permanently humiliate your rival be the most successful, devastating weapon of all? That's the ultimate magic spell, basically.